Hello! I thought I would start the next episode a little bit differently, and today is the Sunday, the 28th of November, and it's the first Advent Sunday, and we decided to go for a walk. It's snowing, as you can see, quite heavily, and the snow is quite wet. But I wanted to show you around my town a little bit, and to show you where I like to go for a walk. And we have Bethlehem here, like this, you know, the scene with the baby Jesus and so on, so I can show you that too as well. And I'm wearing my improvised hat with a hole for a ponytail or bun. It's a Letlopi and Isager Alpaca from Eastex and silk mohair Ito Sensei. So it's kind of practical. And I'm wearing my yak wool shawl from News Concept and my Letlopi Felix cardigan, which you can see here. This is Ina, and she's wearing her Felix housewear from Tina Hauglund. It's Chili Yacht from the Room Natura, and I talked about it in episode 2. But I actually recounted the stitches to knit 3 to 6 months version. So it fits her, it's slightly bigger, but it still fits her, which is great, and she's almost 2 months old now. So that's we are covered in wool. Oh, my son just fell down. Tak se zvedni, Sašilko, dobrý. Okay, so I will cut this now, and I will show you the baby Jesus scene. We call it Bethlehem. Okay, and this is like how do you call it? This is version Oslavany, it's the name of my town, and první místo na Moravě s těžbou uhlí, the first place in Moravia with coal mining. And you can see the dates here. So yeah, we have coal mines here. And this is the scenery. It's my husband and my son there. Yeah, so that's how it looks like. It's right next to City Hall. It's our old communistic City Hall. And that's the scene. Yeah, look at how the baby Jesus looks like. Yeah. Ah, that's the, you know, like hay baby. Hay baby. Everything's made of hay. So we were there, and now we are on the bridge. We are going there alongside the river. And I actually got this idea from Laura, and she has a Knitting Pickle podcast, and she did a vlog. So I said, okay, that's a good idea. I can make something like vlog as well. And I wanted to wear my flex pullover, which is also knitted with Letlopi, but then realized if I wear my Felix cardigan, I can fit myself and Ina at the same time in it, because it's so oversized. And I will insert a photo of me carrying Ina in a Felix cardigan, so you can see that. So, you know, because when you have to put clothes on the baby, it can be uncomfortable for you and for the baby. So I decided I will wrap us both in my Felix cardigan. And see you in a bit. Oh, that's how it looks like. There's this path along the river, and they have horses here, and at the end of the road or this path they have goats, so we usually go there and feed them. My son loves it. And that's how it looks like in Oslavany. It's actually just like 2 or 3 minutes walk from the center, the town center where we live. It's more a village than a town. but it has a status of a town. And I just love this. This part is the best, you know, this kind of the curve of the river and the trees and so on. So I love this town. It's small, and my husband, he's holding Sasha so he can see the horses. I know. Ah, there's one. There's one. Maybe you can see it too. Do you see a horse? No. It's right here between those two wooden planks, but yeah, the mobile can't focus on that. And here we go. Sashi, glass papa? Papa! Okay, Sasha says hi. And he's also wearing this Felix Hausstube, knitted with Juliet. And his Harald's jumper from PetiteKnit. And it's just enough to keep him warm. Ooh, it's a kind of ugly wall, kind of old. Yeah. So that's it. Nothing more to see. Maybe I will record something in a while when we get to the next point. I don't know whether we make it to the goats because the snow is quite wet and heavy, and yeah, we shall see. Ah, hi again. We are not going to make it to the goats, so I will show that to you next time. But there's like a meadow, or it's like a just piece of ground. I don't know. And my son wants to make a snowman. I don't know whether that's possible with the snow conditions, but we'll see. They are there. Just look at that. They're making snowballs. Yeah, the snow is really wet. So we'll be heading home soon, I think. I hope you like this kind of unusual format. It's called format, I don't know. Unusual setting or unusual podcast. It's kind of vlog thing, right? And so that's it. And now usual normal podcast will continue. So in a few seconds you'll see me in my bedroom at my knitting corner, and we shall discuss, or I shall talk about my knitting progress. Ciao! Hello and welcome to episode 8. Is it 8? I think it's 8. Episode 8 of My Cup of Yarn podcast. My name is Clara and I'm a knitter based in the South Moravia. And yeah, that's basically it. This is my channel when I talk about my knitting and about yarn I love, or I like or don't like, and so on. If you are new here, welcome, and I hope you'll enjoy my content. And if you are a returning viewer, I'm forever so grateful you're back. And yeah, so today I have one finished object, one whip, and some acquisitions as well. And yeah, that's it. And I also have been taking some footages of our walks during the past few weeks, so I will put that at to the end of this episode. So if you want to, you can watch those. And I actually hope you liked the unusual beginning of this episode. I just was almost 3 weeks ago on a and this is my daughter Ina, and she's basically here every time since she was born. Yeah, so I 3 weeks ago was the first Advent Sunday. I decided to, or we decided to go for a walk, and I was like, okay, I can vlog a little bit and show you around. So let me let me know what you think about that. It's definitely not something I want to do on a regular basis. It was just something for fun. Yeah, so today is a really nice day. I can pop up some pictures here, but we've been experiencing a massive snowfall since the Wednesday evening. And when I say massive, I mean like maybe 30 centimeters of snow, which is massive for the region I live in. And it's so beautiful, even though it's cloudy, like the snow makes everything so bright, so that, our flat is so bright right now and it doesn't feel moody and I'm not tired. Just the snow reflects the light so beautifully. And I'm just I mean, like, multiple times a day, I'm just staying at the window and staring at the snow like a crazy person. But I just really love winter and snow. And another thing is that, my husband actually downloaded an app for me to record, because it was like, okay, the exposure is going on and off and it's darker and lighter. So he downloaded an app, which I'm currently recording with and or using it. And I'm able to lock the exposure. So it should be better actually. This video should be somewhat better for you to watch. So I hope it will be. So because, sometimes I'll just kill him and then he comes and say, okay, I was looking at the videos and I think this might be better for you. Like, oh, that's so sweet. So that's it. Okay, so in the last episode I talked about Lieblingskneck warmer. I know I'm talking about it a lot, but I forget to mention one thing, and that's it. That in the first one, the red one, I bind off using a tubular bind off, and it was quite stretchy. It didn't hold the shape as well. So this time I just did a regular bind off, like a knit one. I wanted to slip the stitch over, and it looks much neater, I think. And I like the braided. Oh, let me. Yeah, maybe this is better. This is much better. I think I still have to work on the exposure a bit. So this braided look, and I really like it. And it helps to hold the shape of the garment. So that's one thing I forget to mention. And when I finish this, I got half a ball of the alpaca left. It was 25 grams, and 7 grams left of mohair at each ball, so 14 grams together. And I really wanted to knit. This is actually a present from my mother, and I wanted to use the rest of the yarn to knit a headband. So basically what I tried for the first time was to do the same thing as it's here. So there's purl one, knit one, ribbing. I cast on fewer stitches, and I was hoping to knit a long tube and then fold it and knit it together, so it would be like, this kind of look on your head. I was really going for a bulky looking headband, but the yarn, I didn't have enough yarn for that, because I did the tube and I folded it, and it was like 5 centimeters maybe, so it was really narrow, and it wasn't what I was looking for. And then I remembered that PetiteKnit has a really nice headband design. It's called Ingeborg, and it's a basic brioche headband, which is kind of like let's say squeezed at the front, so it creates this
nice detail. So I bought the pattern and finished the Ingeborg headband. I have it here. So this is how it looks. I can actually show it how it looks on me, or not. Oh god. So that's the headband. I made a few changes though. First one, the yarn I had was not the ideal yarn for this pattern. It was bulkier than what the pattern calls for. So I cast on fewer stitches, I think like 2 or 4 stitches less than what's written in the pattern. And it's still really, you know, like wide, and it covers your ears beautifully. It's super warm. And so that's one change. Then because the alpaca is quite stretchy, the recommended ease or negative ease was 5 centimeters, and I think I have 7 or 8 centimeters of negative ease there. So that's the second thing. And third thing was that there's a provisional cast on, and then you just use Kitchener stitch to join the 2 ends together, and then that seam should be at the back of your head, and then you have to pull the thread through the knit stitches in front and tighten it to make this you know, this detail. But I really didn't like how the seam looked like. I think the better option would be to do like provisional cast on directly for brioche, and then this how is it called, you need this invisible brioche seam, but it was like too difficult for me, I think, so I didn't do that. I think it will be better to start with this provisional cast on directly for brioche. So what I did was that I pulled the thread of yarn not in front of the headband, but around the seam, and then just, you know, tighten it. And so there's no seam on the back, and I think it doesn't look that bad. I mean, here it's not as neat maybe, but it still doesn't look that bad. It's tightened around the seam. So that's the thing. And it was my first time knitting brioche, and I actually attempted to knit this headband like 3 times. I tried smaller needle size, bigger needle size, fewer or less stitches, and then I found this, I think it's 15 stitches on 6mm needles. And okay, my first time knitting brioche, and I will insert a photo here of the mistake I made, because actually I knitted about like 10 centimeters of the fabric, and one edge was quite nice, like here, and the other edge was somewhat ugly. It's like, okay, I must be making a mistake. And the thing is, when you knit brioche, you actually, on one row, you slip one, then you yarn over, then you slip one again. So these 3 stitches are kind of, there's nothing holding them, and they easily turn around the needle. So it's at the beginning of the first row, and when you turn your work, they are actually on last stitches on your needles, and you have to knit the yarn over and one slip stitch together, and then just knit the first slip stitch. And what happens, or what happened to me, was that the slip stitch, there's like a kind of, I'll insert a photo and even a footage of it here. It's like this V which is holding the yarn over, and it turned around the needle. So I was actually knitting it kind of twisted way, and that's why it created this really, really ugly edge. So my advice is, or if it this was like, if you might, oh my god, if you ever experience the same problem, it's important to kind of pull the stitches to the back, so you can see the free stitches in the right way, let's say, and then you can knit it correctly. And you should see that on the footage, that's what I'm talking about. So there was like one problem I had, but otherwise it's a really nice pattern, quite simple. So I'm not really sure whether it is worth buying, to be honest, because you can actually just find Google on the internet how to do brioche, and then you just knit like brioche band and you join it together in some way, and that's it. But it was since I knitted this like at least 4 times, changing the needles and then repairing this mistake with the edge, I think it was a really good brioche practice for me, and I really do love this brioche stitch. It's lovely. So I'm thinking about casting on a brioche cardigan, maybe. It will be a really lovely thing to do. Okay, let me check my notes. So that's the Ingeborg headband. Yeah, another finished object is not knitted, but it's actually this kind of fun thing, the Crocheted Snowflakes. And first one, I crocheted them last year, actually, and I didn't have time to block them and, you know, just cover them in liquid starch to make them stiff. And I did that yesterday, finally. They turned out, after blocking, they are much bigger than I expected. So I don't know where to put them because they are too big for our Christmas tree. So maybe on a window or somewhere else. And I'm not sure whether it's a free pattern or not. I will write it down here. But I definitely got this pattern from RAVELRY. So you can too. And but one really big fail. I blocked them on a cardboard, and I didn't put anything between the cardboard and like some plastic wrap and the snowflakes. So what happened is that the snowflakes are now, I don't know if you can see it, but they are stained a little bit, and they are even like pieces of cardboard on them. So yeah, I'm going to wash them and block them again, and you know, just put a liquid starch on it. But otherwise, I think it's a really nice thing to have at home during Christmas. It might be even a really nice Christmas gift. It's a really quick project, and it's kind of fun to knit, to crochet such a thing. And I think these has 3 types, like this one, then this one, and this one. And I think I like this one the best. It's just really nice snowflake. So that's my second finished object, crocheted object. Yeah, that's it. And oh, sorry, I'm kind of all over the place, but back to the Ingeborg and Living Egg Warmer. I think that I told you the alpaca free is a pure alpaca. It's not. It's 50% alpaca, 50% wool, but still really alpaca. Let's say it's really stretchy. So I think it feels like pure alpaca because of how it stretches. That's it. And the snowflakes I just bought in shop here, some basic cotton yarn, like white pleats cotton yarn, and which I normally use for putting sleeves on haul or something like that. It's really great because it's really smooth and it doesn't doesn't get together with a yarn I'm knitting with. So yeah, just to the material. And like a week ago, because I've been knitting headbands, neck warmers, hats, and I get so tired of it, and I was like, oh my god, I need to cast some sweater on. So no progress on my pelto collar, because I was like, I'm not in the mood. I'm just so like overwhelmed, but I just get bored of accessories. So I was like, okay, my husband needs a Christmas present, and I won't be able to finish the hat for him because I lost my hat and accessories mojo. So I decided to cast on a sweater for him. It's designed by Maxim. I hope it's the pronunciation of his surname. And the design is called Single Malt. It's his latest pattern, I think. And I knew about this pattern, actually, the day he released it. I was like, oh my god, it's so cute. But then I forgot about it for a while. And one day I was watching Penrose Knits podcast. It's Laura, I believe you know about her. I will, or I can link her podcast down below. And she is actually making this single malt sweater for her husband as well. I was like, oh my god, I forgot about this sweater. I should cast this on. So I did, and this is 1 week of knitting it. So I complete the raglan, and I get like, I don't know, 14 centimeters of the body. It's all over textured raglan pullover for men. This seems a little bit like not big enough, but look how stretchy this fabric is. So I think it will block out nicely. The pattern is super fun to knit. I've been knitting on this religiously since I started 1 week ago, and not just because I need to have it I need to finish it before Christmas or New Year's Eve, but because it's really so fun to knit. I really like the construction. You can see the raglan here. It's got a nice detail. There's a neck shaping, the German short rows, which happen here on the neckband, which is really like a nice solution. It doesn't bother the fabric here. So the neckband here is higher than in the front. It's quite neat solution. Yeah, and it's so nice to knit on it because it's mindless but still interesting. The texture is kind of variation of a moss stitch, I'd say. You have pure knit rows, then you have some rows when you purl, like you alternate purl and knit stitches. So you don't have to look at the pattern at all. It's just really mindless but still so fun and interesting. So totally recommend it for like men's sweater. I think it would be really nice for women, but yeah, it's originally for men. So that's my single malt, and the yarn I'm using is Peruvian Highland wool from Filcolana. It's a Danish yarn. So that's it, that's the ball. And it is really lovely, like gray. It looks more blue on the camera, but it's like really nice gray with some blue and almost white like undertones. And it's not solid color. The color is really like, it's just speckles of the blue, light blue and white. And it reminds me of, you know, those pictures of those really smooth stones in the river somewhere in Scandinavia in winter. I got this feeling from the yarn, which is really, I don't know, it's really appropriate for our weather, which we have currently. And This is like 50 grams, 100 meters for 50 grams. It's worsted or aran weight. It's 100% wool, and it's so soft. I totally recommend. My husband is super sensitive, but he likes this. And yeah, actually, when I lost my one thing, and this is also a very cheap yarn. I think you can get a ball for about not sure, $4.50, maybe something like that, between $4 and $5 a ball. And for this, I'm knitting size 3, and I bought 9 balls for that. So it's really economical. You can like a sweater for, I don't know, maybe $50 top. It's quite good in my opinion. And okay, when I lost my accessories mojo, I wanted to continue with the cardigan for my husband. I started it in October, and I did the ribbing and fluoros of the body, and then I was like, okay, he actually didn't try the swatch or this part of the sweater on his forearm and neck. And I was thinking it with Retrosaria Brusca, which is 50% merino, 50% wool, not merino wool. And it's soft to me, but it wasn't soft to my husband. So he tried it, I was like, oh my god, no. So I was so glad I didn't continue with it. And instead of, I bought this yarn and I'm making this single mold, and I think he will be super excited about the sweater. And I was like, oh my god, what to do with the Brusca? Because I have like 10 balls of Retrosaria Brusca. And I found a solution. Because I can actually show you yarn. Here. That's the yarn. It is again a grey color because it's what my husband loves. It's not a sturdy color I would choose, but I have it in my stash now, so I have to use it. And you can see there's a really nice picture of a sheep. And this wool is also very, maybe not cheap, but it's not really pricey. I think it's almost the same, like $5 a wool maybe. And the thing why I love this yarn is that Retrosaria produces yarn that is 100% local and organic. So each step needed for the production of this yarn, of the yarns, is made in Portugal. So that's really, really nice. And yeah, it's like 50% Saloia wool and 50% Portuguese merino. It two variations, white and black, and they have like colorways, colorway 15A, and they have like 2 lines, like A and B, and the A contains the white merino, I think, and that's why it's softer than the B line of this base. But still might be not soft enough for sensitive people. And it's super rustic. It's a woolen spun, so it's quite uneven. So if you are looking for a really nice texture of something, this might not be the best option because it's really uneven thread. And it contains a lot of pieces of hay, so that adds up to that rustic feel so much. And so this is the yarn. And with the Peruvian, I ordered also this lovely book. It's a Shetland Wool Adventures Journal. Because I was watching my favorite Czech podcast, which is created by 2 ladies who have a yarn shop, my favorite yarn shop in Brno, and they somehow managed to get this book to the Czech Republic. And so volume 1, 2, and 3. And it's to be honest, it's quite a pricey book. I think the cost in dollars would be, oh my god, like maybe $30 for this book. And of course, I would love to have them all the 3 volumes, but yeah, as I said, it's pricey. So, and what's in this book? It's patterns, walks, recipes, stories, inspiration. There are interviews with people living in Shetland, farming. There's something about history, about the sheep on Shetland, and there are the patterns. So I was looking at the patterns in each book. You can see that on the website of the Shetland Adventures, and of course I wanted to start with volume 1, but volume 1 contains also a pattern ideal for the Retrosaria Brusca and ideal for me, and it is the Brioche. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's see it here. It's a pattern by Donna Smith, and I totally fell in love with this pattern. It's so beautiful. I've been looking for some like perfect scarf or shawl pattern since I started to knit, which has been more than 1 year now, and I finally found it in this book. So and I actually already swatched for it. The swatch is here. There's a cat's paw motif on it. I can show it to you. Okay, so the central motif is a cat's paw motif. I missed this one, but others are. You can see it like that, yeah. So I swatched for it. I think the fabric looks just alright. It's blocked and washed, so you can actually see how uneven the Brusca is because it's woolen spun. But I think it suits, or it will suit this this shawl perfectly. So the yeah, I didn't check the pronunciation, sorry. Brioche shawl will most probably be my New Year's cast on, and I'm super excited about that. And there's Cal. I actually found a really great podcast. It's called Creabea, a knitting podcast, and she has already I think her name's Rebecca. She's from Scotland, lives in London, actually moving back to Scotland in 2 weeks, I think. And she is running a call with knit something first call or something like that. So you can join the call and you either knit something for the first time or you knit for the first time, completely for the first time. So I've never did shawl, so it will be, I think I will participate on this call and with this shawl, because I've never knitted a shawl, so it will be my first ever knitted shawl, and I want to participate on the call. So if you want to do that as well, look in the description box. I will link that below. And totally recommend Rebecca's podcast. I actually binge watched it. It was so great. I love it. Yeah, so that's about that. Let me check my notes. Yeah, so, and what happened with my knitting diploma is I already unraveled it, and I washed the yarn and wound it into a ball. So, and I started. So that's what I have, and I'm using now 2 threads of mohair. So just the beginning, but I was knitting it on the 4.5 millimeter needles, and I need them for my single mold sweater. So this is just has to wait, and if you ever try to unravel a mohair from a wool thread, you know how actually it might be quite impossible, but maybe because it's alpaca content, it was like so easy to just, yeah, because I the neck warmer, I just unravel it together, like I hold it together, I didn't separate the threads, but I needed mohair from the headband I knitted in order to be able to knit this with 2 strands of mohair. So I had to separate the mohair thread from the alpaca free thread in the headband. So I was like, oh my god, it will be a never-ending story, but it was so easy. I was just holding one strand of the alpaca, one strand of the mohair, and it's like that. And I will insert a video so you can see how easy it was to separate them. So I was like, oh my god, I'm so lucky that I didn't have to, so really difficultly separate them. So that was really good. And that's everything I wanted to tell you about yarn or yarn-related content, or knitting-related content. And I actually sum the acquisitions up with the rest. Yeah, so no acquisitions here. And now I can actually knit on my single mold and tell you something about my life. So the vlog from the beginning of this podcast, I took the footage on the first Advent Sunday, and on the in the evening of that Sunday, in our town, there was official start of the Advent, and we went at 5 o'clock in the evening. We went to in front of the town hall, and because they light the Christmas tree there, and I will again show you a picture of it here. Say Inushka. Yes, so it was so Christmassy, and I really enjoyed it. And in this episode, I wanted to talk about some Christmas cookies and Czech Christmas cookies and Czech Christmas foods in general. But then I realized it's hard to talk about it when I don't have any samples for you. So I decided to record one more episode, and I will upload it after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's Eve. So, and I can show you our food, our Christmas cookies. Actually, I post a photo on YouTube community page. So you can see it. It's called Pracny, and yeah, I really love it. So you can see a sample there, but I will talk, don't worry, I will definitely talk about it in the next episode, and I'll show you some footage from our Christmas Eve and so on. So that's it for Christmas related stuff. And what else I wanted to talk about? Yes, I wanted to, since I started this podcast, I wanted to recommend to you some other podcast. And I've never done it. Actually, I always forgot. So today I'm finally doing it. So my first recommendation is the Clea Bea podcast. I talked about it a few minutes ago. It's a really, really nice podcast. Go check her out. The second one I do really love is Little Fern Fibers podcast. The knitter behind this is called Ellie, and she is a young mother as well, from Wisconsin in the US, and she has a really great episodes, so calming, and do check her out last episode when she talks about the wool for yarn. So interesting. And she actually baked the Czech Christmas cookies. those pracný cookies I talked about. So, and she loves them. So I'm so excited she likes them and that she baked them. And last podcast is German podcast. It's called QuickStrick. And so if you do speak German, again, go check her out. Oh my god, her name is Annie. I forgot the name of the podcaster, sorry. But I actually saw just one episode about a few days ago. And it was a special episode when she talked about all her knitted sweaters and pullovers and cardigans, everything together. And it was so inspirational. She talks a lot about how it fits, or how they fit, and which is very important, I think, to know the shape is good or bad. And I actually, after watching the episode, I wanted to cast on at least 3 of those projects. So, yeah, a really nice podcast as well. So, the Kreabea, Little Fan Fibers, and QuickStrick podcast. Yeah, and what are your favorite podcasts? Please do share in the comments. My forever favorite. And also I mentioned the Penrose Knits, which is Laura from UK. And I think my forever most favorite podcast is The Gentle Knitter. I'm sure everyone knows Nicole from The Gentle Knitter. And also Inge from The Knitting Traditions. That's just like, the podcast queens. Knitting podcast queens. Yeah, that's so inspirational. So I do love these podcasts, and you will find links to them in the description box below. And I think that's all for today. Yeah, I mentioned everything I wanted to mention, I believe. And I took some more footage when we were out, went for a walk with my son and my daughter. So if you want to, you can watch it now. If you don't, it's okay. Yeah, we actually won't see each other before Christmas. So I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. In Czech we say Veselé Vánoce. So přeju vám veselé Vánoce a užijte si je moc. Přála bych si, abyste dostali, co si přejete, abyste ten čas strávili se svojí rodinou a měli prostě příjemnou atmosféru Vánoc. So, very Merry Christmas to you all. I wish you a beautiful atmosphere, Christmassy atmosphere spent with your family. And I hope you get everything you want to get for Christmas. I want to wish you a Happy New Year, because we will see each other before that. So I will wish you a Happy New Year then. And yeah, that's it. I hope I didn't forget anything. But you know me, I always forget something. So that's it for me today. Again, now you can watch the footage if you want to. If you don't, have a really nice day and see you next time. Bye bye.
Hello again. Today it's Friday, so almost 1 week after I did the first vlog. There's no snow, and I don't have my husband's phone, so this quality of this video will be lower. But look at that sun. Today is a really nice day. Here's my son, and we are going to the goats. So I may show you that. We'll see. But that's actually the part of our almost village town where we go for a walk quite a lot. Here's the river Oslava, and you can see there is our church. They renovated it recently, so it looks really nice. But you can see just the roof of the tower. Yeah, it's a really lovely day, and you can see Sasha's wearing Felix Hauslue. Say Papa, Sashulka. And we are almost here. So, as always, we park our stroller here and we go feed the goats. It's like a place where all the mothers with children from our town go and feed them. It doesn't look that much nice, it's kind of dirty, but the owners don't care, or I don't know. I never take care of any like farm animals, so. But I think they could have better living conditions. But yeah, that's it. And you can see they are so used to being fed by the children and people going around. So yeah, they are waiting for us. And it's just the hay. I have to pick the fresh one from the inside of this. Tak, dej kozičce. Tak, ona si vezme. Pozor na kozla, jo? Ne, no, děláme kozička. Ještě, no. Tak. A dej tady kozlovi, jo? A opatrně tě nekousne. Dolů mu to si vezme blbec. Tak. Tak dej kozičce vedle, ta je nízko. Tak už si vzal. Paráda. So, that's our goat, so not our. Like, they are like everyone's, but hey. Have you ever like lived on a farm? So you can tell me. I don't think that's really good what they have here, but at least they are fed a lot thanks to children. My God. And this is our swans. They come here every winter with young ones, and as the spring begins they fly away. I don't know where, but yeah, they always return. Yeah, I'm kind of afraid of them. They can be dangerous. And I see the duck. Like, we have a lot of ducks here, but they're on the other side of the river, or the other end of the river. So, a lot of animals here. Quite. And we are heading home.